Hi guys, a little introduction to Scalar here. I've created a page for you. I've added the tech team to the editors list so you guys can get in there and start doing stuff. See, I've called it Empires, Societies, Environments, 18th Century El Royale. You can change the title as you see fit. I'm just going to show you today really basic stuff. It'll cover certainly everything you'll need to get started, and you can play after that and do different things, learn how to figure out how to do some things or not do some things. But this is really basic stuff about adding images, uploading stuff, and all kinds of really basic things like that. Writing, basic things like that. So how to get started? Well, it tells you how to get started right there. This page contains no content. Click the little pen button above to add some content. So let's do that. We'll click this. It's going to pop open a new window here. And here you can type away to your heart's content. You can say, this is, well, you should be in the window when you do that. This is the story of Il Royale. Dramatic. Oops, you should spell it right. A dramatic start, if there ever was one. And you know, you continue to do that. You great paragraphs. You do all kinds of things. I'll show you just now. This is kind of leaping way ahead, but it's just kind of convenient right now to point to it. If you know code at all, I don't want you to get caught up in coding, but you can play with the source things. And sometimes if you want to embed images or embed websites and things like that, you can go directly to the source, which gives you can see the HTML is around the text there. But for the most part, you won't be operating there. You'll just be operating right here in your basic little window. Okay, so you may also, you may also have a title. Let's call this, you'll have different pages. So we'll just call this one page 1. And you might have a description of it is the early stuff, because that's what page 1 would normally do. And you're kind of done there. Here, all kinds of basic things that much of it is the kind of same stuff that you would have in a word processor. You've got bold, you've got italics, you've got underline, you've got colors. You can remove formatting and things like that. You can play with, say you want to indent text. You can play with all this stuff as you go. You can do things like that. See, it just moved it over, and it's a way of highlighting it and puts it into an italicized font and so on. And if you don't like what you're doing there, you can put it right back as normal. If you want to add a link, over here you can add an internal link to another Scalar page, or here you can add an external link to any website you want to have a link to. But you can play with all that stuff. You'll figure that stuff out. That stuff's really, really easy. Where I want to go right now is to show you how to add content. Scalar needs to have the content that you're going to use in the program. It can't be, well, you can link to external things, but you're then linking typically to somebody else's page, and that's often not. You want to have your own content on your own page. That's usually a much more attractive thing to look at. So I'm going to take you to the toolbar up here in the upper right. Lots of stuff going on there, but we're going to do something simple and basic here today. We're going to go here. This window's going to pop up. So you're going to leave this page. Any changes lost. So you do need to save this all the time. That's a good lesson for you. Should we continue? Well, no, we don't want to continue yet, because we do want to actually save what we've done. I know it's kind of meaningless and simple and so on, but we do want to save it because we're going to add an image to this to kind of show what's going on here. So this takes you to the dashboard. There's all kinds of stuff here. Here's the basic book properties, book users. That's where I've got you guys listed, how it's being shared. You'll have individual pages for the general web page. Media, which is where we're going now. Relationships, we can come back to that later. Categories, import, export, all users, all books, all tools, and so on. But all we're going to do right now is upload an image. It's really simple. Click on the media box. Again, you get a new window. You can search for media file. You can search internally, meaning something that's already been uploaded, or you can go over here because you want to add something to the Scalar site, or upload a file. Click on upload a file, and you find the file you want. Now, what you would normally have done already is you would have found a picture that you wanted to use. So I'm just using this quick and easy picture. This is from Wikimedia Commons. This is a view of Halifax from 1757. You're looking at this and you think, wow, I need a picture of Halifax. I'm not quite sure why you would need a picture of Halifax in your project on Il Royale, although you might want to point to, kind of the British context or something like that. But you're going to download that particular image. You're going to save image, and it's going to be on our desktop. If you're not on a Mac, whatever. But now you've got the image there. You do need to pay attention, though, to where you got the image, and this is really, really important. So when we go back to this upload page, we are going to give it a title. Now, here you've got some options, but you also need to adhere to some fairly precise things. For example, the title. You need to give it an accurate title. So let's, in fact, look at this. Whoops, went to the wrong page there, sorry. This image is by Thomas Davies, A View of Halifax taken from Cornwallis Island. You can copy and paste that. That way you'll get it right. That's always important. Copy it. Go back to this page, add the title. Everything's there, nice. It stripped all the bold stuff on there. Put the artist's name, Thomas Davies, here. And then you have a description. Now, the description is where you do have some flexibility because you'll want that picture to serve a particular purpose. You'll want it to illustrate something. So the title is just the title. And sometimes the title is self-explanatory and sometimes it's not. Sometimes you need to explain why this image helps us understand whatever it is you're doing. So you would type there that this view of the British fleet leaving Halifax, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you might want to put there. Then we go down here. This is where we also need to pay attention. You can replace an existing file. That would be obviously more advanced because you've already downloaded a bunch of things, but you've decided you want to change something or whatever. Here I do want you to notice one particular feature, which is metadata. Now, metadata can be complex, but for our project, we're going to keep it fairly simple. But you do need to attribute where you get these images from. So there's a whole pile of things that you can use in metadata, including titles and authors and all kinds of other things. But we're already including that in our basic title information and so on. But the one thing we really do need to pay attention to is this one over here, source. You want to have a metadata field for source. So we're going to add that field. And suddenly it pops up here. See, now there's a window available for that. We got that one from Wikimedia Commons. I spelled that one wrong again. And that's really all you need to do. You'll get things from the French National Archives or from the Library of Congress or whatever, and you'll put that in there. I got this image there. So you're giving proper credit to the people, and so that the source is understood to be legitimately used. You might think, are there questions about copyright and things like that? If this were a 20th century course, might be an issue. This is an 18th century course. It is almost invariably, not never, but almost invariably not an issue with 18th century sources. They are almost all available to be used completely openly. So that's it. So you have to now then choose the file. Click on the choose the file box. There's our image that we just downloaded. You choose it, and then you do upload. And there it is. There's the title. Oh, I spelled the name wrong. Damn, look at that. You can, well, that's a good, you can go back to that little pen and correct it. So there's a valuable little lesson there for you as you're going forth. So there you've got this image that is now in the data attached to your website. It's not in your website yet. It's just in the data attached to your website with the information attached to it. And note, it includes the source information over here. So you've got everything you need to do. So now we're going to go back to our web page. We're going to go back to our home, where you'll recall we wrote that incredibly important and beautiful sentence. Now we want to add the image. And again, it goes to the pen here. We're going to go back into our text. We're going to go to part of the text. Obviously, you would normally have more text than this. Let's create some paragraphs. Then there is more here and still more here. And so you might want to have that image after that second paragraph. So I always use this second one, which is which pops up this list of images. We only have one there. When you're more advanced, you'll have several there. You simply choose it, you click on it. Here you can change the size. Small is quite small. It's going to be postage stamp size. Medium is, you can guess medium. Large, native, and full. It depends on the image. It depends on all kinds of things, but they typically take up the full width of the page. And excuse me, oftentimes it's actually sometimes more than you want. So I'm just going to go with a quick little medium here. You can also then choose other functions, like you can create a new line for it. You can wrap around the text of the media. That's what I'm just going to choose. Doesn't really matter with our short little sentence. But in a long paragraph, you might be discussing, say, Halifax, a paragraph on Halifax. You would have this image in the middle of the paragraph rather than at the beginning or the end. That's pretty simple stuff. You can put it on the left side of the page. You can put it on the right side of the page. Here, do pay attention to this one. You have different options for the caption. You can put the description, you can put the title, you can put the title and the description, or just the metadata alone. If you do the title and the description, it will also include the metadata. It doesn't say that, but it will, trust me. So I always choose that one, and typically you want that description there because you want your audience to read it. It's not just an image. It's somehow part of the story, so you would choose that. And you're basically done at that point. You click continue, and look, there it is. You'll notice that there's a big gap between our second and third paragraphs now. You might want to we'll save that. We'll take a look at what it looks like. Oh, look, there it is. Because we don't have the actual full paragraphs there, it looks like it's just kind of floating there. But it is somehow anchored to this paragraph, the second one. And were this thing longer, you would see that it's somehow wrapping around the text in that paragraph. It's kind of hard to see in this particular moment. So that's pretty much everything that you need to do for really basic things like writing text and adding images. And that's 80% of what you'll be doing, variations on that throughout this entire process. I'm going to show you one other thing though, which is that you can offer to put headers at the top of the pages, which often make it much more attractive than this kind of plain white field. So we're again going to go into the pen angle there, a pen tool there, and we're going to go here to styling, and we're going to choose a key image. To choose a key image, you go to your list of images. Of course, we only have one. But there it is, you chose it as your key image, and then you can do things with that. You can add a path to it, you can add a comment to it, you can annotate it, you can give it properties, you can do different things with it. But I'm going to take you over here to layout, and you can now use that key image in different ways. And what's often the nicest thing to do is the image header. And so that takes that key image and puts it at the top of your page. And it puts your title on that image. And you can see that wasn't the best resolution image to be used there. And probably not even a good image to use there. But you can see how that works. And it certainly gives the web page a more attractive feel. But there it is being used as a header. There it is being used in your text. And again, you can play with that in all kinds of different ways. I think that covers most of what I want to get through today. As I said, it's just really basic information. We're going to have a workshop with the Digital Scholarship Lab folks in a couple of days, and that will take you along to I think a little bit more advanced possibilities there as well. Okay, a start, an introduction. Hope that was helpful. We'll talk again soon. Take care.